Hi, this is Debbie Kaufman. I'm your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and we are going to be making this card today with the stamp set Playing in the Rain. We'll be using the turtle and the flowers and Cheerful Daisies Designer Series paper. You can use any stamp set you want. The purpose of this card is to be able to show you the grid from the designer paper and how to layer it onto your card. Karen Cook, I'm casing this from her. I saw it on Demonstrator Planning, and I just kind of want to show you how to layer on the grid. In the kit is your items. I'm using Garden Green, which is a half a sheet of cardstock. It's 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4, and we're going to fold that over. Get that done. Then you have crushed curry, which is 5 1/4 by 4, and that will layer on here, but we're going to do our designer paper first. Our designer paper is 3 by 5, and what we're going to do when we trim this is we're going to cut it in 1/2 inch strips. Now it's real important that you actually keep your strips orientated so that when you put them on the grid, the flowers and the daisies fall in the same area. Ask me how I know that, because the first card I did not keep them in orientation. So bring out our trimmer, and we are going to cut in 1/2 inch strips. I got wiped off my trimmer, so it's a little damp there. Oh well. Okay, nice and clean there, dry. So your 1/2 inch, there's two ways you can do it. You can, oh, you know what? I'm going to pause this a second. So there's a couple ways of doing it. You have here's your 1 inch mark, and here's your 1 inch mark. So you can go 1/2 inch and do it this way and layer it this way. As long as it's butted up against the trimmer, it doesn't make any difference, but you want to make sure it's straight. I tend to, when it's a small amount, like to go to my 1/2 inch here, and I look all the way down. Now again, remember when you're cutting designer paper, if your designer paper is up here, you push up so you do not shred it. Okay, that's one piece, and I am going to set that aside and then go to another 1/2 inch, push up, and keep the orientation. The third one, and I have to get up here and look. As you get in smaller pieces, you have to really be careful to keep it straight. And to the 1/2 inch. Okay. And then this will go here and here. I'm going to get rid of the trimmer. Set that over there. Okay. So we've kept them in orientation, and you will layer them. I tend to try and do the top and the bottom first, and then put the others in between. You can kind of see how they layer. So I'm going to go ahead and you can use your stampin' seal, or you can use your adhesive, whatever adhesive you prefer to use. I'm going to start with the top and just put a little. So you can see what I'm doing here. And glue gives you a little bit more wiggle room. Maybe. And then I'm going to do the bottom. And then I'll do the next one up here. You can see how your flowers are in the correct orientation. I'll do this one next. Again, any designer paper you'll be able to use. It's just keeping an orientation if you have a scene of some kind. And if you want to use your grid paper to measure and get it exactly right, that would be fine. Obviously, I didn't do that. That's okay. We're going to go with this video anyway. Just have a little space in there. And then we will attach this to here. And I just adhere that down with adhesive. I'll be putting a sentiment across there. You can actually put your turtle here. I use stylish shapes, and I used probably, I'm not sure what size circle. I wanted most of the designer paper to show, so actually the turtle will fit just on here. It's pretty close, pretty tight fit. And just put it on there. Okay, I'm going to let that dry a minute. The inside, we are stamping "Oh Happy Day" and the flowers. And I'm going to go ahead and do the flowers first. What I did is I put them all the way across the bottom. Nice and firm, straight down. The inside piece is 5 1/4 by 4 inside white. And let me get my markers here, okay? Okay, I have my markers out. I went ahead and did stamp "Oh Happy Day" on the inside with Granny Apple Green, because that's the color, excuse me, not Granny Apple, Garden Green, because that's the color of the cardstock. So we're going to go ahead, and I'm just going to show you a little bit of how I did the turtle. This is crumb cake. Yes, you can use blends and you can use pencils, any type that you want. I like the markers. That's my choice. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm not going to show everything of the coloring on camera. I will show you a little bit of the shading after I get it colored, because you can shade with your markers as well. So I will go ahead and color, and I'll come right back to you. Okay, I've colored the turtle with crumb cake and old olive, and you kind of see, I want to shade it a little bit more, so I'm going to take the same old olive and just go back over some of the areas, like around the neck where I think it would be shaded a little bit, under the arms, under this area, and kind of under the shell a little bit. So you can actually see how that can shade. And then your crumb cake, I'm going to go under the chin, around the neck area, under the eyes, a little bit up here, and the arm creases, and the legs, and just kind of, so you can actually shade with the same marker that you colored in. Now when you do the flowers, I did all the leaves in Garden Green. Now remember, you have your thick side and your thin side. Some of the stuff some of the coloring you'll use the little tiny, and some you'll use the bigger. The leaves are pretty tiny, so we'll start with that. And I just did the leaves, and I'll continue to go on with those. And then the colors that I used are Poppy Parade, Pacific Point, Crushed Curry, Calypso Coral, Highland Heather, and Pool Party for the colors, and just rotated them on the flowers. So I'll be back with you shortly. Okay, so it's already adhered. I just want to show you the same card, and I'll finish that one later. So you have your flowers on the inside, and you do the same thing on your envelope. Now, some of the people at the class chose to put their flowers across the back of the envelope. That's great, however you want to do it. Then the turtle is adhered with dimensionals, and I'll go ahead and adhere him with dimensionals. And put him here. Now these strips that you get when you cut your when you cut your cardstock for the inside pieces, you always have little strips left over. This is a little strip that we're going to be using, and save scraps, so I'm going to stamp Happy Birthday on there. And I'm going to be stamping that in Memento. And it fits right on there. When they designed these stamps, they made it so they could fit on all these little scraps, which is amazing. I love it. And then the ribbon, just tie a bow. I'm not very good at bows. Some of these videos I watch, these ladies just whip right through them, and they're so good at these bows. I'll turn that guy in like this. And we will cut him. And then I will adhere him with just some glue dots. And the glue dots I'm using are left over from the paper pumpkin kits, or the kits that I get. I love keeping all my little extra pieces. And my ribbon will go. And I will cut my happy birthday at an angle and adhere that directly on my card. And I'll put the inside in later, but that's your card. It's a very simple, easy card if you like to color. It's fun. There are dies that go with playing in the rain. I highly recommend when you get the stamp set that you do get the dies included, because they are amazing, and we've done some amazing cards with them as well. Thank you. This is Debbie, and have a great day.